Hello and welcome to our lessons on intentional living. One of my mentors, the late Jim Rohn, said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And this is the essence of this video. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. My name is Joyce Tairu. You're watching Intentional Living. When Jim Rohn said that you work harder on yourself than you do on your job, he did not mean that you become sluggish when you're doing the tasks of day-to-day activities. He actually meant that you need to engage in personal development, personal growth. You need to build yourself. I'm a key enthusiast of personal development because the better you become, the more you do and the more you're able to achieve. So personal development is very, very important and is very, very critical in the journey of life. So my friend, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. There are two broad ways in which we learn. First, we learn from our own experiences. And these experiences could be in areas of success and in areas of failure. And I like emphasizing that we learn more from failure than from success. So we can learn from our successes, we can learn from our failures. Secondly, we also learn from other people's experiences. We can learn from their successes, we can also learn from their failures. And I often tell young people that it is cheaper to learn from other people's failure because you do not experience it firsthand. When people share their experiences of failure, it is important for us to identify areas in which we can get key lessons so that we may improve our own lives. Personal development is about growth. So, what is growth? It is important for us to know that growth is multidimensional. If you want to grow in our relationships, we have to develop our abilities to open what I call emotional bank accounts with people and keep making deposits so that when the time comes of withdrawing from those relationships, we have something to withdraw. It is important for us to learn how to build those relationships and to maintain the relationships that we have. That way we grow in that particular dimension. If we want to grow in our career, we have to build our skill sets. We have to build our professional experiences. And you have to be intentional in going out there to develop your skills. And at this particular point, I want to inform and advise young people to look out for online platforms where you can develop your skills, your knowledge, and get exposed to what is happening out there. We have a lot of universities and institutions offering what we call MOOCs, massive open online courses where you can actually build your skills and your knowledge almost for free. We also have YouTube where people are sharing a lot of knowledge about building your skill set. So for you to be able to grow in your career and business, you have to improve and grow in your skill sets. What are your values? What guides your behavior? You need to introspect and find out, are those values enough to build a strong character. To become a better human being, you have to grow in the area of your character. You have to develop your character. You have to question your belief system and your value system so as you can develop your character. Are you an honest person? Are you a trustworthy person? So you have to be intentional in growing in that particular aspect. To grow in the area of financial goals, you have to understand the laws of money. In our previous video, we have talked about understanding the inner and the outer laws of money. There are inner laws of money revolving around the area of understanding your belief system in the area of money. And there are outer laws of money, concepts like budgeting, retirement planning, investing that are usually taught in business school. To become a better person, you have to develop your character. And it is important to understand that you need to develop things like honesty, integrity. All these build your character. To grow your soul, you have to develop the area of spirituality. And in a previous video, we have talked about 4 ways in which you develop or grow spiritually. First, you need to have a personal relationship with your Creator. Secondly, you have to develop a value system that guides your behavior. Thirdly, you need to live a life of purpose. And fourthly, you have to make contribution into the lives of people, especially people who are not able to pay you back. To become better in relating with people, we have to learn how to develop our relationships. And I like using the metaphor of bank account, emotional bank account, when you are dealing with people. People have a tendency of looking for people when they are in need. People they have not even opened bank accounts with. You need to start relationships and invest in them so that when the time of withdrawing comes, you have something to withdraw from people. So it is important for us to develop all areas of our lives so that we may live a balanced life and grow in a balanced way. There are a few lessons that I would like to talk about in the area of growth. First, growth is not automatic. We need to be intentional about building our skills, growing in all areas of our lives. We have to create time for growth. Secondly, growth takes time. And I think nature teaches us about growth. If you look at animals and plants, they grow over a period of time. So you cannot start a business today and expect tomorrow to be reaping profits. So growth takes time. Thirdly, growth separates those who succeed from those who do not. I like saying that everybody, that is, those who succeed and those who do not like taking action. However, those who succeed do it whether they feel like it or not. So, growth separates those who succeed and those who do not. Fourthly, the more we grow, the more we realize the need for growth. The more you build your skills, the more you build your relationships, the more you grow in your spirituality, the more you realize that you need to grow in that particular area. So the more you grow, the more you realize the need for growth. Fifthly, growth equals change. And I must say that you cannot grow in your comfort zone. You have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone so as you can grow as a person. You have to be comfortable with change, and I like saying that change is the only permanent thing. So growth equals change. You cannot be said that you're growing yet you are still producing the same results that you produced in the yesteryear or yesterday or last month. Growth equals change. And remember, growth is uncomfortable because moving from your comfort zone is very uncomfortable. So you have to get used to being uncomfortable for you to grow. Lastly, you need to determine what areas you want to grow in your life so that you may set goals for growth and take action in that particular area. For example, if you decide to grow in the area of your career, you need to determine what specific skills do you need to obtain so that you may grow in that particular area. Once you decide the skills that you need, then you take action and actually build those skills. Now, how do we grow? There are various ways in which we can grow. First and foremost is by interacting with people who are where we need to be. We need to identify people who are where we need to be and interact with them as our mentors. I like mentorship because it helps us to grow and even access resources that we never knew we had. If you have a good mentor, they will be able to help you to know skills that you already have and help you to access them in the journey of your growth. Secondly, we need to read books. We need to watch empowering videos. The saddest thing about today is that many people are drawn towards entertainment. Friends, growth is not equals to entertainment. It is hard work. You need to look out for the books. You need to create time to read those books. What I like about books is that you get information from people who may not even be alive. And that is why I also encourage people to form a habit of writing books so that they may share knowledge with other people long after they are gone. They leave a legacy of the skills and knowledge that they had when they were alive. Thirdly, we need to visit great places, inspiring places that open up our mindsets. We need to explore areas that can help us even diversify our thinking, open up and develop even higher perspectives of life. Visit, move, travel, move around. Visit places, visit inspiring places. In doing this, you actually open up your mindset, because when you travel, you learn more. You are able to access more knowledge. You're able to access more information. Lastly, you need to attend great events. Conferences and workshops in your area of interest are places to begin. You need to purpose to attend conferences, workshops annually. For example, you may start with once a year, and then you build it to twice a year, 3 times a year. That way you will meet with people who will even build and grow your network and be able to grow. As I conclude this video, I wish to say that we have to be intentional about growing. Remember, work harder on yourself than you do on your job.